Hi, guys. Welcome to our daily encounter. In Judges chapter 4 and 5, we read about Deborah, who was a judge of Israel, and she was a person who displayed great character. She just had a lot of things going for her in her life that causes her to be a great example for us. For one, she was very wise. We see this in verses 4 and 5 of chapter 4, where it talks about how she would sit under the palm tree of Deborah, they called it, and the sons of Israel would come to her for judgment, which showed that she displayed great wisdom, that people would come to her and she would pronounce judgment in people's matters and things like that, which shows that she had a great deal of discernment and things like that, uh, that displayed wisdom in the way that she passed these various judgments. She was a person who was very respected, and people came to her for judgment. And this was during a patriarchal society. And here she is, a woman being respected by men, and the men are coming to her and respecting her authority and expecting her judgment and her rulings. She was a person who was highly respected, and I think a lot of that had to do with her character and the wisdom that she displayed. She was a person who spoke the words of God to others. We see this in verse 6, where she talks to Barak and tells her what the Lord had commanded about going and marching to Mount Tabor and so on and so forth. She was a person who would tell other people what the words of the Lord were. In this particular case, these are the words that she herself had received. But she was a person who was willing to share with other people what the Lord had said. And then she was a person who was a source of great confidence for others. Barak said, I'm not going to go to this battle unless you go with me. And he knew that if Deborah was with him, he would have the confidence to go into the battle. And so she was a person who, when you're around her, she just gave you confidence. She had this strength about her, this dignity about her. And Barak recognized that and wanted her to go in the battle with him. And she was also a person who was accommodating. She wasn't a person who was difficult or hard to get along with or unreasonable. When he does make that request, she says, yeah, I'll go with you. Of course, there's some um, stipulations that come with that, some things that she says, okay, if I go with you, this is what's going to happen. But at the same time, she does go with him and accommodates him in that way. And then she was a person full of faith. We see this in verse 14 where she encourages the people to go to the battle and tells them, hey, the Lord's going to give you the victory in this particular battle. And so she displays great faith. She was also a person who was an encourager. In that same verse, that's kind of what you get out of the verse too. Not only is she displaying faith, but she's also encouraging them to the battle. She says, arise, for this is the day in which the Lord has given Sisera into your hands. Behold, the Lord has gone out before you. So she was an encouragement to other people. And so all these different characteristics, these 7 characteristics here, she was wise, she was respected, she spoke the words of God to others, she was a source of confidence to others, she was very accommodating, full of faith, and an encourager. These are all things that we ought to have implemented in our own lives and follow her example in. And we should be people that people come to for wisdom. Not necessarily because we in and of ourselves are all that smart, but because of our connection with God and because of the wisdom that we receive from his word. It should be that people come to us for wise judgment. We ought to be respected among the people around us, that people respect us because of our character, because of the way that we handle ourselves, the way that we handle situations, and the way that we talk. We have a way that kind of brings respect, at least to us based on our character. We should be people who are speaking words, the words of God to others, having God's word in our heart, but also speaking God's word and helping people to understand things in accordance to God's word. We should be a source of confidence for other people, that people feel more confident, more assured when they're around us because of our character and because of our demeanor and things like that. We should be people who are accommodating as well, that aren't hard-nosed or difficult are unreasonable, but people who love others and want to see what's best for them, and are willing to accommodate others. And we, of course, need to be people full of faith who have confidence in their God when they step into situations, so much so that other people can recognize that. And out of that, also, we could be great encouragers to others, using our great faith to encourage others as they face the battles that perhaps they face, and giving them the encouragement to go into those battles with confidence in the Lord. So all these different characteristics that Deborah shows, I think we can also show as well in our lives, and ought to show in our lives. And if we do that, we would be emulating the same type of life that she had. And I think that that would be both good for us, good for the people around us, and it would definitely be honoring to God. So these are some things we can reflect on and think about as we do our readings today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.